from Complete Sports.
All right, let's touch down our Daily Trust Sport newspaper as some interesting stories for our listening and viewing, reading as well. A pleasure. And this one says we are ready to take down a Bayana goalkeeper Nadozie speaks. And Palmer's hat-trick as Chelsea beat Man United in a 7-goal thriller. Nadal pulls out of Monte Carlo Masters. And the Super Eagles are dropped 2 places in latest FIFA ranking. 10 months after, NFF drops a Tingo as Federation Cup sponsor. And Super Eagles star Murphy bankroll medical outreach. More from Daily Trust. Super Eagles star Samuel Osanye will not be punished in Turkey. And pillars crumble in Aba as Domo storms Aqua United in Uyo. And finally, from Daily Trust, Rubiales arrested in corruption investigation again. And 7 Sixers in the world of basketball defeated Thunders as Embiid returns from injury.
Okay, now let's go straight to what's happening from Sporting Live. For fans of Sporting Live, this is Full House in Falcons campus. Shola arrived. That was yesterday. This one saying Napoli will not inflate Osimhen's income. This is coming from the Napoli's president. Osimhen's departure may pave way for Kulusevski. That's what we're hearing. Nigeria ahead of Ghana in latest FIFA ranking. Super Falcons pride at stake against South Africa. More story in my desire to play for Chelsea. Find out who is saying that from Sporting Live. Osimhen Akide Aromabumi are my friend, South African coach Desire Lee speaking during the press conference. Madrid Masters to be testing ground for men's double. We hear that in tennis, and WADA release report on testing figures for 2022. Japan to host MLB, that is Major League Baseball season opener next year. And of course, Spanish Football Federation set date for presidential election. Dutch Combat Sports Association targets to get them association together with Gamma at Africa Games and Special Olympic Youth Sport to promote inclusive education.
Alright, so let's touch down a Punch newspaper. And this one says, Osimhen, Napoli risked fine, points deduction. Ooh, this will certainly not be good one for Napoli, looking at how their season has turned out to be. Alright, let's continue on Punch newspaper. Aruna label WTT, that is the World Table Tennis dictators in latest lash out. Victor Boniface back in hunt for hat-trick of trophies. Of course, they are set to definitely win trophies. The Bundesliga is almost in the bag. The DFB Pokals, they are in the final. And in the Europa League, they are also doing so well. Bayana target positives result in Abuja. Take Bayana clash as cup final. Aruna Elerica advises the Super Falcons. Amusa begins the Diamond League season in German. Brazilians, Kenya clubs for Enugu pre-season tourney, and we hear that over 300 runners are set for the Surulere Marathon. Falcons aim to break Olympic jinx battle Bayana in Abuja, and this one says only Waldron can exclude Oshola from South African clash. Ex-Falcons is speaking, and Finidi wants more from Atule. Aremu eyes a DFB Poker Cup finals, a win with Kaiserslautern. And finally, from Punch newspaper, Adesanya favorite for Du Plessis UFC title match.
Okay, guys, that's how much we can take on the newspaper review. We'll go straight to the local scene.
News from the local scene.
Okay, let's start off from some sad news. I tell you, as some members of the all-Congolese Nigerian boxing team at the just concluded 13 African Games in Ghana have cried out over non-payment of the allowance, describing it as unacceptable. Team Nigeria boxers made history in Ghana by winning 8 gold and 2 silver medals to top the boxing table, and close to 2 weeks after the games ended in Ghana, some of them are yet to receive their allowances, not minding promises made by the Sport Minister John Owen Eno that athletes will not be encounter any delay in getting their allowances. Investigation carried out by reporters revealed that the ministry initially put this blame on the Easter holidays, which did not allow Central Bank to complete all the documentation for the release of the allowance. But further investigation revealed that while some have been paid, others, including national boxing coach Anthony Konyekwachi, 3 gold medalists Adams Olore, Patricia Mbata, and Cynthia Ogusemire, are yet to receive that.
Sometimes last week we had a media parley with the Minister for Sports Development, Senator John Onwa Eno, and when the question was asked, he said that some athletes have been paid while others have not been paid, but he promised that every participant, either you win a medal or not, as long as you were part of a Team Nigeria, you would definitely get they would definitely get their bonuses. But it has been almost 2 weeks now, and yet we are getting reports that athletes have not been paid, and the boxers who made history are crying out that they have not received their allowances, have not received their bonuses, they have not even received their prize money for the medals won. And this brings us to the question, when are we going to get it right in our sports, and not just football but sports in general? The Easter holiday has come and gone. We are staring at the celebrate that will be coming on anytime next week, and yet these players have not, these athletes rather, have not been paid, and today is Friday. What's going on? Does it mean that we have a minister who talks but don't do, who backs but don't bite, or it is still some technical issues or glitches? We continue to track the story. We'll continue to follow up the story, and every athlete who participated in this All-African game will not be surcharged.
Absolutely. We'll move forward now. Let's see what happens with the boxing. Hopefully, we hear that the ministry would ensure that they pay. We'll wait and see if that is done and dusted. To the camp of the Super Eagles, if not, it's official already. Nigeria dropped 2 places in the FIFA ranking from the 28 to 30th. We hear, but the good thing is they remain third in Africa, just behind Morocco and Senegal, Egypt, Ivory Coast, Tunisia, Algeria, Mali, Cameroon, South Africa make up the top 10. As we talking the Super Eagles, we now know that the game between Nigeria and the Republic will not be played in Cotonou, as FIFA has officially and the inspection team have made it mandatory for them to look for an alternative venue because they have declassified the stadium in Cotonou. We hear they are discussion with Ivorian FA to be used one of the stadium for the Afcon for that game. Fine boy.
We continue to track that story, even though the stadium right there in Cotonou was not approved by CAF, owing that it is substandard and not quality enough to host any international.
It's not from the African coordination. It will be a good one because they have a good stadium there in Cote d'Ivoire.
Must we always go back to teams that just hosted the tournament? They need to breathe. We saw Ghana, where other sporting federation like the Athletics Federation right there in Africa are lobbying them to bid for the 2025 athletic games that will be coming down sometimes next year. Now we are seeing a country like Benin Republic, though we are on a live interview on the show with the Director of Communication, Dr. Demola Olajire, yesterday, and when the question was posed, he was indifferent about the whole situation, and he was very, very confident, just like every Nigerian, irrespective of where the game is taken to. Benin Republic must fall.
Okay, guys, let's go down to the camp of the Super Falcons. I'll let you know that Waldrop is confident that his squad ability to overcome their rival, talking about the Bayana of South Africa, emphasizing on his girls' talent and determination to secure the spot in the Paris 2024 games. In the press conference held yesterday at the Stadium Media Center, Waldrop expressed his confidence in his team readiness for the match. Let's hear from Coach Randy Waldrop.
I certainly understand the importance of the match. We don't really look back at what's happened the last 2 matches or really the last 10 matches with our opposition, because I think what we've worked with our players is to be present now in the moment with what we have. We know they're a great side, but we feel very strongly that we're the team to beat, and we feel very confident going into the match. And at this point, we're just excited about tomorrow. It needs to hurry up and get here.
Okay, adding to the fire, Super Falcons captain Rashida Ajibade called the game a revenge match, emphasizing that the team's burning desire to qualify for the 2024 Olympics. And he also declared that their unwavering determination, stating that they are ready to face any opposition to secure the spot in Paris. Let's hear from the captain, Rashida Ajibade.
It's a revenge time for us, so of course we've always been coming, and having like a very tough match against them. So right now we want to go to play in the Olympics this time. So if we have to go there, we need to compete against any team. So we're ready.
And also, meanwhile, we heard the Bayana coach Dizer Ellis ever the strategy struck a balanced note, acknowledging her team's current form. She expressed cautious optimism. Ellis predicted a close battle between the two games, hoping the game will be evenly matched between both teams. Let's hear from Desire Ellis, the coach of Bayana.
We're ready for the game. We know it's going to be a tough match. Nigeria are so many times African champions, been there, done that, done well at the World Cup. So you cannot take that for granted, and you've got to respect that. We have to be on top of our game. We're going to have to bring our A game. We have to score the chances that we create, because we're a team that creates chances. We just got to make sure that we don't concede. So it's going to be that type of game where I think it's going to be very, very tight, and the winner over 2 legs is going to have a tight result as well.
Also speaking, South African captain Rafilo Jane acknowledged the immense pressure the team faced to perform well, adding that they are not only having a strong desire to succeed, but their ultimate goal is to qualify for the Olympics and represent Africa.
The number of years and the number of sacrifices, the hard work that we put throughout the years to get to where we are today, and it keeps on being a journey, and there's pressure to do well to go back to the Olympics. Both teams, powerhouses in Africa, would want to go and represent Africa. We're going out there to make sure that we can achieve our mandate.
Okay, the Nigerian Minister of Youth and Sports, Senator John Owa, said that the encounter between the Super Falcons and the Bayana in the first leg of the Olympic qualifier is an all-important match. He says every Nigerian look forward to a good outing for Nigeria for the 9th African champion in the first Olympic Games. And who joined the pre-match press conference of the Super Falcons urged Falcons to do their best to win their first leg on Friday convincingly at the MK Abiola Stadium before heading to Pretoria for the second leg, adding that a good win at home will be a morale booster for the Super Falcons heading into that game. Let us hear from the minister speak about that game.
Tomorrow's game is as important as it can be, and I'm sure everybody appreciates and understands so. Every Nigerian is looking up to coming out strong tomorrow with a clear victory over the South Africans. The second leg is just a few days after tomorrow's match. Every support we need to give this team, we should give this team. I mean, it's my hope, and I try to engage and to see how much publicity can actually be given and can be made the remaining time that there is. Because I mean, there's no fun playing at home when you don't find the crowd and the spectators having to cheer you up.
Fine boy, match day live today, 5 p.m. West Africa time. It will be Nigeria's Bayana of South Africa. Both teams talking tough.
Both teams know what's at stake. As for Bayana, they are the defending champion of African women football, and not having the champions of Africa at the Olympics, it will definitely not come good for the continent. And the most successful team in the history of African football, the Super Falcons, not making it again to Paris will be a huge blow. Both teams are evenly matched. The Super Falcons know what to do. The Bayana also they have been talking tough.
Should there be any cheaters?
Of course, there should be. We have talked about this game all week long. Yeah. We have talked about the possibilities of both teams making it to Paris. We have talked about a whole lot concerning this game. It is a match day live at 5 p.m. The best team will definitely come out good. As for the Super Falcons, to which my heart, my soul belongs to, 16 years they have not been in the Olympics, and they know what's at stake. My heart is for the girls to go all out there and do us proud. Definitely, I will be there to see the game as well as you, Sport Bishop, and every resident of Abuja. Come on, come fill the stadium and let's have a good time.
Okay, guys, let's go to the Nigerian Women Football League. One game played at the Aimba International Stadium, but not too good news for Abia Angels as they were beaten by Nasarawa Amazons by a goal. Tinubu caught that goal by Chinyere Carlo in the 26th minute to give them a victory. After the game, we caught up with the coach, Christopher Danjuma Musa, and this is what he had to say about that game.
Sorry, my name is Pastor Coach Christopher Danjuma, head coach of Nasarawa Amazons.
Okay, sir, your team won the game 1 goal to nothing. How will you describe this encounter?
It's a very tough one, very, very tough game, and a very tough nut to crack, because it's the second stanza of the league, and everybody's trying to get themselves position to see how they can qualify for the Super 6. So it was a very, very tough game.
Okay, sir, you have been in this game for long, and is there anything you stated in this game that needs to be improved upon in terms of female football?
Yes, I know coaches are trying. Female coaches are really, really trying because it takes a real sacrifice for you to be a female coach. But I'll also advise that let's think about the future of the players and build them with the mentality to play, not waiting for any outside aid. Because these are players who are hoping and believing they should play for the national team, one. And secondly, that she'll be able to make their trade outside. And it's from this league, the mentality we build on them here is what they will take out. And that's how they will either sustain themselves when they have an opportunity to play outside, or they can go there and when they see pressure, they don't come back. I mean, they just come back.
Okay, coach, your team defended almost throughout the entirety duration of the game. Was that a tactical approach, or was that something you just feel like, okay?
It was a tactical approach because when we started with the 3-5-2, having 5 defenders on the field who are playing inverted with the number 6. Just leave 2 people to run up front. We know that when it comes to the second half, you're playing up here, and this team needs to win. So you don't come trying to go and attack them. All you do is just stay there, suck pressure as much as you can. It was a tactical approach.
That was the coach of no other than, of course, Nasser Amazon's coach, Christopher Musa Danjuma. That win shifted them to the top of the Group A with 23.2 points clear of Heartland Queens. Fine boy.
Yes, 2 points cleared over Heartland Queens and Confluence Queens, who sits second and third respectively with 21 points at peace. That's a glorious 26-minute striker from no other than Chinyere Kalu. Was all Nasarawa Amazons needed to get all 3 points away from home. It was a good performance, knowing fully well that Abia Angels were not in action when every other team was in action on Wednesday, holding to the fact that Eimba had to make use of the stadium to play their game against Kano Pillars. A good one, and we just hope that the excitement continues with the away wins and more on the Nigerian Women Football League.
We go straight to the foreign scene.
Let's take you to the foreign scene.
Fine boy, where else but of the big game that went down yesterday to Chelsea? A one-man Cole Palmer, and Pochettino says there's no how you can call him a top class player. A hat trick for that boy. Beautiful 2 goals in the last 2 minutes in 82 seconds, if I put it that way. And Chelsea went home shockingly with a 4-3 victory at Stamford Bridge.
Man United is the only team that have come back in a game and still go back in that same game.
You were going to throw a jab at Manchester United.
Of course, that team was shambolic in the first 14 minutes. Yeah. It was a 29 shot for Chelsea in total against 19 for Man United. Exactly. And 15 of those 29 were on target and just 5 shots on target for Man United. Well, Man United actually showed a fighting chance in that game. I haven't gone 2 goals down. Courtesy of the goal scored by Conor Gallagher and of course Enzo Fernandez in the first Cole Palmer scored a penalty in the first half, but it was United who rally run from the scoring boots of Alejandro Garnacho and a certain Bruno Fernandes. It ended 2-2 in the first half. Second half, bang bang bang, it was Garnacho who got the winner for Man United. We thought that was it. Kudos to Anthony. He played a very good game, even though Rashford didn't start that game and people thought it was a tactical brilliance, but Eric Ten Hag said no, we are resting him for Liverpool games this weekend. But we thought that was all, and he comes, the cold one. Had to send cold shivers down the hearts of Man United fans all over the world, deep into stoppage time, and it was 2 goals from Cole Palmer, and that match ended 4 goals to 3 in favor of the home side, and that was the first win for Chelsea in 7 years. Over 7 years
the
of
first win since 2019 in the FA Cup.
EPL games. Just a good one for Chelsea. Indeed, they showed a fighting spirit. Despite that win, Chelsea still remains where they are on the group. Exactly. But it was a good one for Chelsea. At least that bragging right for now goes to the Blue House of Chelsea.
This puts a major dent in Man United top 4 aspiration.
And not just at this game. Over the weekend, they played a 1-1 draw against Brentford. And looking at the likes of Aston Villa, looking at the likes of Tottenham, they didn't do well. They did well last weekend.
11 points from the top 4.
Last weekend they did well, but in the midweek game when United lost, and then we saw Tottenham and Aston Villa. It's just like these 3 teams are still doing social distancing for the top 4 and not able to cement their place. But I trust me, Sport Bishop, this is the game of the season.
Liverpool, back to the top of the table. One man, Kurigapo, McAllister, Nunes, all on target. It's care from Bradley that own goal, but they got the 3-1. They need to win it at the Anfield Stadium.
It's no brainer. Liverpool has been in this condition before. They have battled City in a 2019-2020 season. They won the EPL, and they know how to get the job done at this end of the season. And it was a very good one. Two goals from Liverpool players and one own goal sent all 3 points to Liverpool, and it shoots them to the top of the EPL. It's going to be a battle to the finish.
Absolutely. Arsenal's forward Alexander Zinchenko said he would leave the UK to fight for Ukraine if he was called up. He made this just yesterday in an interview with the BBC. Hopefully, he wouldn't have to be called up to leave Arsenal and go fight the war against
the guy
Ukraine.
has not been playing football. What do you expect? He's match rusty. He's I don't want to say gun rusty because it has not been established that he is a gun wielding player. But come on, when you are playing on the field of play, when you are helping your team defend and also attack, I don't think he will be thinking of going to war for Ukraine.
Anyway, Valencia beat Granada by a goal today in the Spanish La Liga yesterday night, but games will continue this weekend. I'll do a rush on that. Sunshine Star will take on Bayana in the MPFL. That game is for today, 4 p.m. Tomorrow, it will be Plateau vs Doma, Remo vs Aqua United, Casina vs Enugu Rangers, Niger Tornadoes vs Gombe United, Lobby Stars vs Enyimba games for Sunday, Abia vs Rivers game has been postponed, Heartland vs Sporting Lagos, Kano Plus vs Shooting Stars, and Kwara United by Bendel Insurance. In the EPL, tonight, tomorrow it is Crystal Palace vs Man City, Wolves vs West Ham, Everton vs Burnley, Aston Villa will take on Brentford, Fulham vs Newcastle, Luton Town vs Bournemouth, Brighton will take on Arsenal, Man United vs Liverpool, Sheffield United vs Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur will take on Nottingham Forest. In the La Liga, unfortunately, there will be no game until the 12th of April, so it looks like a break for the Spanish teams. But there are games that will take place as well in the Serie A. Tonight is Salernitana vs Sassuolo. Tomorrow it will be Milan vs Lecce, Roma will take on Lazio, Empoli vs Torino. On Sunday, Frosinone vs Bologna, Monza will take on Napoli, Verona will take on Genoa, Cagliari vs Atalanta, Juventus will take on Fiorentina, and on Mondays, Udinese vs Inter Milan. In the Bundesliga tonight, Eintracht Frankfurt will take on Werder Bremen. Tomorrow it will be Freiburg vs Leipzig, Mainz will take on Darmstadt, Cologne vs VfL Bochum, Hoffenheim vs Bayern Munich, Union Berlin vs Bayer Leverkusen, Dortmund vs VfB Stuttgart, Hoffenheim vs Augsburg, and of course, Wolfsburg will take on Borussia Mönchengladbach. In the French League, Paris Saint-Germain will be in action. They host Clermont Foot tomorrow. Lens will take on Havre, Brest vs Mainz, Toulouse will take on Strasbourg, Montpellier vs Lorient, Reims will take on Nice, Monaco vs Rennes, Nantes will take on Olympique Lyonnais, and the game tonight is Lille taking on Olympique Marseille. Which game are you looking up to? Should we be looking up for this weekend, Uncle Feinberg?
Of course, there is a Copa del Rey final between Atletico Bilbao and Real Mallorca.
The two brothers who come in action, Nico and
Inaki.
Absolutely.
Both of them will be in the dugout for the respective club. But of course, that is where my heart will be this weekend. And of course, action continues in the CAF Champions League quarterfinal stage, where Petro Atletico will take on TP Mozambique, and ASEC Mimosa will be at home to welcome Esperance over Tunisia. Great games are built for this weekend.
Okay, guys, don't forget the Japanese Grand Prix as we speak. Breaking news: Max Verstappen tops the practice as Logan Sargent crashes to tennis, where Dan Evans loses his first clay-court match of the season to Roberto Calobuena, losing 6-3, 7-6. And we hear that Saudi Arabia will host the next WTA final for the next 3 years with a huge prize money of $15.25 million. That is 12.04 million pounds. And of course, Rafa Nadal said, no, I cannot participate in the Monte Carlo Masters. My body is not up for it.
Retired already. He doesn't want to be disgraced like a certain Andy Murray.
But he's not retired
who keeps being facing defeat all the time. Time and again. It is that time he calls it quits. All right, we are calling it quits on the show this morning. But trust us, we will be back at 4 p.m. later this evening on the show Sport Lounge. It's going to be the Super Falcons special against the Bayana.